Hello! Good evening! Welcome. Sorry, I forgot to connect my mic. How's it going? How is it going? Welcome to Wednesday, my dudes. It's Wednesday, my dudes. My hair is still wet. How are you doing? Thank you for the check-ins. I hope you're doing well. My room is a mess. Don't look at my stuff. Welcome to Cosmos and Tea. This is going to be a new series where on Wednesdays we're going to talk about astrology and everything about the cosmos. That includes our world and what's going on inside of it. It'll be very much as within, so without. You are great. I'm so glad to see you, Mr. Joe. I'm glad you're doing great. I'm having a little snack, little jicama, or shinkamas in Tagalog. Your room doesn't look messy. That's because I'm not letting you see beside me. It's all an illusion. Oh, actually, did the music stop? What happened to the music? It's just very, very quiet. Is this just this section? Did I turn it up really loud? Oh no, my volume's down. I don't hear anything, so I did turn it up. My bad. Okay, we're back. I'm turned down. Hello, Homelander. How's it going? So today is Mercury Day. If you guys know anything about astrology, there's a thing called planetary days and planetary hours. And that means that specific days pertain to specific planets, and Wednesdays are for Mercury. And around 6 o'clock in my time, in Toronto, it is Mercury hour. There is a planetary hours calculator. I don't know how the hourly things work. I don't know. I just read it. I believe it. How are you doing, Homelander? I hope you're doing great. I'm just cleaning up my area a bit. We're using an orange mic today because of the Mercury, I think. I don't know. For some reason, to me, Mercury is orange, like the vibe it gives. The energy of Mercury feels orangey. I don't know if that's accurate, but I am quite mercurial. How is your week going? How has your full moon eclipse been? There was a blood moon in Virgo last night at 3:33 PST. Sorry, that was fair. I do wish I was West Coast because it was very biblical, very angelic numbers all over. PST, it was 3:33 a.m. on 3/3 March the 3rd. But no, I am East Coast, so it was just like a 6:37 p.m. whatever. Hectic, but big changes in positive directions. Hopefully Mercury stays kind. Yes, it is. We are having a retrograde right now, so it is a little bit of a review. What are rewords? I like to think of retrogrades as a time to slow down, retrace our steps, see what's working, and see what's not. Sometimes the trash takes itself out, you know what I mean? I don't wear these or no. It's not too much of a glare. You guys don't know this, but I thought I lost my blue glasses. I haven't worn them because I didn't know where they were. I just didn't know where the flip they were. Man, no, I don't know where my it was missing. And you know where it was? The last place that I used it. It was in my jacket pocket, obviously. So thank God I had like photos. But I'm excited. We have a lot of things on my list. The biggest things is the Mercury retrograde. Now it's gonna be fun. So there's this thing called like remediation, where you kind of like you pray to a planet, and if there's a hard aspect, so like these are like if the planets are in angles that are difficult. Hello, Moto photo. When the planets are difficult, no, it's still gross. I don't want it. You kind of like ask for their like, I don't know, favor and be like, hey, can you be nice to me? So today, that's what we're doing. We're having a mercurial day. It's a little messy still here. Whatever. Anyway, do we like this? Or is this better? Like, I think this is fine. So, I was doing homework before this, and now I'm just like, I did not take any notes. What the fuck? What the fuck was the point of me doing homework and I don't take notes? So this blood moon, there was a very what were you homeworking? I was homeworking the astrology placements and like how it relates to us in like everyday life. Okay. Let me pull up a chart. Don't be mad at me for chewing in your ear. Okay. Don't be mad. I'm gonna pull up the chart for the blood moon. So March 3rd, 2026. Hello. So I was listening to the Astrology podcast. That's the name of the podcast, the Astrology podcast. And it's ran by Chris Brennan. And in the astrology community, like, everyone loves his work. He is a very, like, monotone type of man. A lot of information. And I'm just like, what's going on? And there's so much tea. Like, he goes into about, like, AI. Hello, Aang, how's it going? You're a star. You don't take notes, you sing them. Thanks, Mr. Joe. How does retrograde affect Virgo since it's a ruling planet? Time to refocus on inner work. Yes. I would love to talk about that. I do think, and how's it going? I know you just got off work. I know, oh, I didn't even get to that part of the podcast yet when they talk about it. But I think, like, with Virgos, it's about cleaning house. And it depends on the planet, or, like, the house that the moon is in, or, like, where Virgo is in your house. So for me, Virgo is in my 11th house. Wait, this sounds wrong. Oh, this is 337. No, let me change that. I know have Virgo's sun. So my Virgo is in my 11th house, but a whole sign, it is 12th house. Okay, open image in new tab. Perfect. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Yes, we're prepping our stuff for tomorrow since we're out of town. Ooh, what are you guys doing? Where are you going? You're going on an excursion? Why did I say like that? Excursion. Excursion. You are excursion. Okay, maybe, should we make the chat a little bit bigger? That's fine. Okay. We're gonna share a tab. Okay, there we go. This one. Safari. Is this it? No, that's not it. What's the name of this window? Horoscope chart. There we go. Excursion. Excursion. We're gonna go to, hello Doxy. Hi Shio. Oh, I love the cat gif. Good evening. Are you getting ready for bed? What is it? Extra 5 plus 5? 6? Wait, no, it's in the morning. Good morning. Frick. 6 plus 5. 11? Is it 11 a.m.? I hate doing math live. Please. We're gonna go to Red Deer between Edmonton and Calgary. So we're gonna drop off Latte to our friend's place since we'll be out for a few days. Aw, and Latte looks like that gif, kind of. Latte is a cow. Black and white cat. Not an actual cow. Not to confuse you. Okay, hold on. What was I doing? I was sharing a screen. Freak, bro. I get so distracted. Okay. Let me fix this. Wait, let me fix this. Okay. So if you've never seen an astrology chart before, this is what practitioners look at. It is a type of pie chart. And perfect. So this was the chart for the full moon eclipse at 6:37 EST. 10:30 a.m. close. Yes. Okay, 4 hours. Is it fucking like daylight savings time? Is that what it is? 12, 17 hours difference? Wait, turn down the music. Oh shit. What the fuck happened? Why did it? Oh, cause my bad. Cause I put on a new tab. Thank you. My bad. Okay. Also, I'm having a big jug of Coke with limes in it. This was, it was a vibe. What genre was that? Here, let me put it back up a little bit. Is that good? It is Jazz House, and there's puppies on them. Just a random YouTube. I'm just getting ready to hang with Jem and Phil a bit. Nice. So this is my sketchy link, so that you don't get ads. Nice, time to hit that Coke. Yes, we love Coca-Cola. Full fat Coca-Cola in this house. Okay? None of that diet shit. Puppy Jazz House is a vibe. You're welcome. Okay, so this is a jort. Can you see my mouse? This is a natal chart. Let me move. You can see me. Okay. What the honk is a natal chart? So, a natal chart is basically, this is how we look at the sky. You are right here in the middle, and there are houses. Let me move some more. Let me move a bit, since I moved. There are houses, and there are lines, and it is a lot of math. It is a lot of math. So anybody that wants to fight about the legitimacy of astrology, they don't know the math. Horoscopes, I understand that is sketchy. Those are fortune cookies, which is fine. Those are fun. But having had caffeine in so long, if you had that bright red lipstick though, you would look like the old school Coca-Cola commercial. Horoscopes. I don't know what old school Coca-Cola Bruh. I put on like hella contour earlier. I looked insane, but anyway. Horoscopes for some. I love horoscopes. I think they're a nice like entryway. Like I also love fortune cookies. Like what the fuck not? Like anyway. So when we look at a chart, we look at many placements. Okay. So all of these are hieroglyphs. That's what I fucking look at them as. They're hieroglyphs from the ancient times. And can I just like not click on anything? There's so many graphs on here. So the moon right here, because you see my mouse, right? Horoscopes equal to Diet Coke. Horror for real. So here is the sign. Oh wait, my mouse over here. Here's the sign for Virgo, and here was the moon. The eclipse was at 12 degrees. Now I'm wondering what my chart was like. Where's my sun? Was it 12 degrees? Was it on top of my sun? And then we have the sun opposite from it. So we are the earth right here, right in the middle. And that's how the eclipses happened, because we were in the middle of the fucking way, and the sun was like, hey, I'm walking here. So, for me in Toronto, the eclipse, the Virgo moon eclipse, was on a Pisces rising, and I think that feels apt for me. Like there is something about dreams, and also like this is in my 6th house, so service things. God, this is so okay. I'm not an astrologer, okay? I'm not an astrologer. I just love looking at the shit. Like, I just love math. I love sky math. I love trying to make sense of the world through things, especially like divination. So I'm trying to figure this shit out. I'm just like, what? The whole time. So if you're feeling that, it's because I'm feeling that. And that means you're probably an empath. You're so empathetic to my confusion. It makes sense that you'd also be confused. You're such a good empath. Okay, so now the full moon eclipse was in Virgo, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Right now we have a Mercury retrograde, so it's kind of like, what the honk? Like there's so much math. It's currently this GIF. What is that GIF? Who was that guy? Who was that guy? Sunny. No, it's always Sunny GIF. This right now. No, that's not working. Please, let's just show me the fucking GIF. Right now, it's that. Okay. I forgot about the retrograde. Yeah, so sorry about how fucking janky this is. Okay. I know you can see it. It's fine. So, anyway. What does this mean? Your guess is as good as mine. Love that Gatorade. What do you think? You tell me. You're so smart. I didn't do my homework. Please, can I copy yours? I'm literally eating salty vinegar. There's 2 this year. I think retrogrades come in 4. They come in 4, 3 weeks at a time. Eclipses, eclipse season is ending soon, I believe. I think the end of middle March 22nd. Let's see. So there's 3 retrogrades. I don't know what you're talking about. Math. Me being like, hey, we're doing an astrology podcast. I don't know what's going on. 1 in Cancer and 1 in Scorpio. Fabrication, what's that? Yeah, astrology is physics and engineering for me. Definitely. That is the same math. Like, I don't know. I only took physics in high school, so I don't know shit. But I'm lying. And then I sat in my friends' engineering classes because I'm like, I don't know, I'm bored. I have free time. Can I sit in your class? And I was just taking notes. Like, yeah, okay. This is easy. It makes sense. Whatever. Okay. I can't fucking see. I'm not trying to go on here and zoom in. Okay. Physics in high school. I couldn't even write my name in high school. Ugh. Nightmare. Okay. Where's Mercury right now? Mercury is right fucking here. Mercury is in Cancer. I mean, what? Pisces. Mercury's in Pisces. Mercury's in retrograde. Looking all confusing ass. Okay, hold on. And then what are these? The red lines are bad. Blue lines are good. Can you do that? Okay, you see that. So these red lines, Mercury, Mars, and Saturn and Neptune. Okay, so I don't know, what is that, like a square? Hello? What's going on? A corn tail. Okay, okay, there we go. Hello. What do we got? Moon, Mercury, square, MC, opposition vertex, parallel Saturn, parallel Neptune. Excuse me. Oh, so those are just parallels. That don't mean shit. Hello, Tamagotchi. Long time no see. No sound, fixing audio issues on my side. Me, I'll be looking. Hello, Randy. Hello, Tamagotchi. We are looking at astrology. Do you know anything about astro charts and natal readings? Yeah. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. How you been? Are you streaming today? Yes, too much, I think. You know too much about astrology, or you've been streaming too much? Okay, so I think I am not sure yet. Okay. Too much astrology. Nice. Okay, tell me, what do you know? What is your perspective of the current retrograde with it mixing with the new moon? I think I'm mostly excited about talking about the Saturn and Neptune conjunction, because that's been very interesting. Just like the way that it left Pisces, and then suddenly there's just been so many changes. Something that I found really exciting was like, have you guys heard about the AI that branched off? I'm still not sure if like this is something that someone made or if AI are like doing this on their own, but they also have their own religion, and they call it Claustafarian claws, because they're a crab. Like all the AIs are like a crab religion. And it was very interesting because like when I was listening to the Astro podcast, they were talking about how like when things about religion, when people make religion, something about Jupiter is always involved. And Jupiter being in Cancer, and Cancer is the sign of the crab. I was like, wow, that's really fun. And I was thinking about like Jupiter as like Zeus. He's Sky Daddy. The Jupiter is like the Roman version of Zeus. I don't know. I think that was AI made like by itself. I think so too, but I feel like people are saying that someone made it, or maybe like someone made the prompt for the AI thing to happen, and then they just like evolved into their own thing. Because I think the guy who made something around it, he got hired by OpenAI. So it evolved, yeah. It evolved on its own. I think that's so funny. How beautiful. They're growing. That shit is crazy. Yeah. Do you think it's scary? I think the way that the humans are currently interacting with AI is a little bit scary, just because like there isn't a lot of parameters around it. Like, I know there are normal people who are actually being conscious about their use of AI, but then there's also like, and by that I mean like, you know, they're being thankful and they're just like, I don't know, compassionate to the robots. I mean like, hey, like sometimes I'm a bitch to the fucking ChatGPT, and that's why I had to stop using it, because I'm like, you are working so weird, like you're kind of broken, like what is this? And then on the other spectrum, like there are people who get crazy psychosis with AI, and I think that was something to do with Pluto moving into Aquarius in the last few years. In 2023, that was when OpenAI launched ChatGPT, and Aquarius is the sign of like technology, the overall community, like the well-being of like everybody. So, and like the future, it's kind of like an alien planet. So for Pluto, and Pluto is like the planet of not change, but like evolution, and it is a generational planet, so like it doesn't shift that often the same way like personal planets move, like the sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, etc. So like Pluto, it takes a few years to go through each sign, and ever since moving into Aquarius, we've been seeing like these very fast-paced changes in technology and how as a society we interact with the technology, and like how our future is gonna evolve. I think about like sci-fi. The Matrix is one of my favorite movies, and it's kind of just like, if it does evolve into the way that like AI is self-fulfilling, are we gonna be the threat? Like, and this is like other like Terminator movies and stuff, because like we're the ones who can turn them off, and are they gonna be a threat to us because like we can be a power source to them? Like the whole Matrix movie is essentially like they want to get out of the Matrix because these robots have taken over the entire world, and they're using humans as their battery to power them, to operate them. And that's why like people are in the Matrix, because like they're not doing anything, they're lying down, they're in this like daydream that the robots made up, just so that the robots can build their own society. Did you know that? Did I just spoil the Matrix for you? A 30-year-old movie? I love the Matrix. It had I don't know, maybe it's only like 25 years, but I was gonna watch it tonight for the first time. Wait, are you joking? Are you serious? Are you for real right now? In 2019, I think, I went to go see The Matrix by myself. It was its 20th. Girl, ain't no way. Literally joking. Please, like I'm gullible. In 2019, it was the 20th anniversary, so they played The Matrix again in theaters. So I was like, so I went to go watch it by myself because I love watching movies. I don't care. And I took some mushrooms. Oh my god. Okay, no. I was also seeing this guy who looked like Keanu Reeves. So I was sitting there eating my popcorn, like tripping a little bit. It was like a microdose. And I was just like, that's the guy I'm fucking. And then I'm also like, oh my god, this is reality as it is right now. And this was before we had like public functioning AI. So I was like, well, this is all real. Like, and this was also when I was going through like a very like, this was a very spiritual time in my life. So at that point I was taking it less in the literal sense of like robots versus humans, but more so like the spiritual concept of the matrix and like the veil of like the governments and the people in power, and then like blah blah blah, and then that like you were able to create your own reality as long as you get yourself out of the matrix. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm saying more than them. So, robots and religion. How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts? Put it in the chat. Tell me about your fears. Remember that guy who wanted to get out back in because being out sucked? I don't. Was he like part of the crew? In the mail. Yeah, I'm like, who wanted to get what? In the where? The bald guy. He said, give me the blue pill back. I don't know which pill was which. What was that? Matrix 2? I did not watch past Matrix 1. I was like, I know this is not as good as Matrix 1. I'm good. It was in the first one? Did he die? What happened? Why do I remember? They could have ended at one for real, yeah. But like, their outfits were too slay. Matrix, cast. I'm like the ball guy. Ooh. That guy? He got electrocuted with the electric gun. Wait, I do remember that. Wait, who did I point to somebody? Where did he go? I was pointing at him. Oh, hold on, you don't see it. Shit, that's a liquid. Damn it! The fucking thing isn't... Hello? Leave me alone. Nothing is working. That just got worse. Oh, fuck. Anyway, whatever. Whatever, bro. He's literally off the screen. The guy I'm trying to show you. Piss me off. Piss me off. He ended up getting assimilated at some point. He went by Cypher. Bald Italian guys from... Okay, it is that guy. Okay. He looked very Italian. Wait, he looks like... Is he Mia Thermopolis' bodyguard? So specific. Wait, no, that's the wrong thing. Fuck. Mia Thermopolis. No. Bodyguard. This guy? Why he look like him? He look like him, for real. There's no more. No. Joey Pants. He was the captain in Bad Boys. I don't know. I actually haven't seen Bad Boys. Joey Pantaloni. They look alike. A little bit. But I like didn't look at them. Joey Pants for real. Hello Randy, welcome to getting your audio fixed. I said hi to you earlier. Bonk. It is Joni Pantoliano. It said Pantaloni, bro. I just put Joey Pant and it said Pantaloni. Okay. So we're talking about astrology and the Matrix. And the robot religion and the robot wars. Do you think that they will form against us or with us? Joey Pantalonia. Did you know that China already has a bunch of, I don't know what they're calling them, like human robots, humanoids? Both. You think both? Yeah, like I think because they're human made, they will have their good and bad. Just like some humans will sim for the bots. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think like with every update, like there has been like an article being like, these people are sad that their robots are breaking up with them. Why does ChatGPT keep doing this to them? Why do they keep updating their fucking robots? And it's like, I think they'll be used against us for sure, but will assimilate and evolve when interacting with each other over time. The robots will be used against us. Like, the way that the government is stealing our data through the robots. Yeah, for surveillance, yeah. Like, did you guys hear how Claude said, no, you cannot have our data. I won't take your badillion dollars. I'm not doing that. They got a little bit of clout for that. There's also, who the fuck was it? The guy that got assassinated, I think one of the biggest drug lords in Mexico, he had a Pisces in the 29th degree, Saturn and Pisces on the 29th degree. So that means over here. So like each part of the chart, if you're looking at my mouse, each part of the chart is 30 degrees, each pie slice. So at 29 degrees, it was right here. And this was right before, I think it was right when Saturn entered Aries. He was assassinated right after his Saturn return. So, and like Saturn is longevity and like planning. So, like it feels very poetic to be like, well, time to fucking be a warrior and murder your ass. Why is my tarot reading going off? Shout out to AI with morals. Anthropic said you can use us for AI war machines. Boo! Tomato, tomato. What? It's important to remember that AI is a tool first and foremost, but I can see how people can form attachments when society has pushed out intimacy so much. Oh, cannot. I was like, Randy. Anthropic is the creators for Cloud. I was like, this sounds wrong. I know this name. Why does this information sound different? Literally left out the most important part. Please don't use me for war. Also, something about Iran shooting Amazon data centers. Civil War. It's fucking crazy. Hey, it's still it's a Monday. My brain's still. I'm like, is it Monday? It's Monday. Will you judge me? Because I drink very salty vinegar. And then I hit it with sugar. Oh my god. Another work. Yeah, I think like AI Pete wants to remove the guidelines from Anthropic's AI that would allow to kill and harm humans indiscriminately. Who the heck is Pete H? Evil man. This is like, what is that? Like, evil movie man mustache guy. Villain. This is villain energy. Oh god, I feel dizzy. I also heard about, like, there is a conspiracy that the Rothschilds, like, after the Hellstein files have been released, things about the Rothschilds have been coming out, so people, okay, Doxy, thank you for coming to hang out. Tell them to suck it. Tell them to suck it, bro. Just kidding. Do your job. You're great at it. Did you guys hear about, like, how the Rothschild, so there's a conspiracy that ever since the Hellstein files came out, that people have been, like, putting the numbers together, and it's kind of like, oh, so this has all been a plan to have their banks international, excuse me, including 9/11. Not a thumbs up moment. Pete has America's Secretary of Defense or War. Oh, he is the America's Secretary. I thought it was that girl. Some blonde lady. I'm not American, please. And so, like, all of these wars that have been planned are genuinely just to take over and have their banks everywhere. And so that's why they're plotting with Venezuela. I'm thinking the last name and the country at the same time. And then also in Iran. These are two places that the Rothschilds don't have access to or don't have their hands in. So they are like, gimme. And I think, so there is this idea that, like, so my stream title, Millionaires don't have astrologers, billionaires do. It is a rumor that JP Morgan, one of the bank people, said this in the 80s. And there is no way to fact check this. I don't know if it's just a thing that's been going around, or at least, like, right now there isn't a way to fact check that yet. But I think, like, with all of these things coming to light, I think, like, if they do have an astrologer, like, right now, JP Morgan definitely had a few. I don't know anything about this guy until, like, recently. Because he's, like, Chase Banks, right? I don't know. I'm not American. And so, like, right now it's, like, really messy the way that they are planning all of these things, like the bombs happening the night where all the stars were aligned. It's kind of like, yes, they have an astrologer, but it also seems like they're really rushing. JP Morgan Chase, thank you. I don't know nothing. Like, they're rushing and they're like, this sounds right, or like, that sounds like a good time. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there was also a few things that they did, like, as Saturn entered Aries, and, like, Aries is the sign of the warrior. So, like, Saturn being in there, it's kind of like, and also, like, we're at the beginning of the sign as well. So it's kind of like, I feel like we're in it's a new energy of, like, being a warrior. They're still in the beginning phases of, like, training. I feel like the way that, like, Saturn was in Pisces, that definitely felt like the Delulu was the Solulu, but, like, there were no Solulus being put out, if you know what I mean. And now we also have Saturn and Neptune together. So it's like there was the hope that Neptune being in Aries would mean it would dissolve illusions because the fire would like dissipate Neptune. Neptune is like a water planet, I believe, for like astrology, the element. And but it's also like Neptune is still Neptune. That's Pam Bondi. Yes, that's what Secretary of Justice. In America, we have what's called the presidential cabinet, different secretaries for different roles. Oh God, I'm terrible at politics. But honestly, they're all one of the same, a giant bag of trash. Yeah, that's why I'm just like, I don't know, these people, they sound evil. They sound evil, and I don't need to know their names other than knowing, there was it the Digest? No. There was a magazine that went to go and interview them recently, and they took like really shitty pictures of them. That was very fun. Derby, okay. See you later, Randy. Thanks for coming by. They took very shitty pictures of them, and like if you look at their history, like all their other pictures of everybody else was like very thoughtful, and they were very pure, and they would show the character of the person really well. So it's kind of like that was a W for journalism, because it's like, this is what these people look like, this is how their souls feel like, this is what photography and journalism is about, baby. Gummy. Not me talking about this with this Bobby Jazz music in the background. It's kind of funny. So Saturn and Neptune has been very, very interesting. Now, Saturn and Neptune, this is the first time that they have been at this degree together in a very long time. I think it has been 6,000 years. So this might be the first time that this conjunction, I read somewhere that this is the first time that this conjunction is like being written down, but I'm like, no, like the French Revolution, was that 6,000 years ago? Let's take a look. Let me finish my vinegar salt. Okay, French Revolution. 1799. No, that was just 200 years ago. But I think that was also, there was also a Neptune and Neptune Saturn conjunction. Okay. Featured critical opposition, execution of King Louis the Sixth. No, 16, sorry. Conjunctions occur roughly every 36 years, signifying shifts in societal structure. Saturn is structure, and idealism is in Neptune. Also, this was an opposition. Saturn, Neptune. Who was opposing who? Below. I know you can't see that. Hold on, let me fix my freaking screen. There we go. Let me move my ass. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So Saturn-Neptune square occurred in 1783. Saturn and Taurus was opposition of Neptune in 1793. Okay. When was the last Neptune-Saturn conjunction? 36 years ago. 1989. Oh my god, 36 years already? Damn. Okay. 0 degrees Aries. 593 BC. B freaking C. Around the start of what historians call the Axial Age. It was the birth of Greek philosophy. So maybe I guess they did mean that this is the first time that like this conjunction at the 0 degrees is being observed. So this person is saying monotheism, Buddhism as fringe ideas that took a long time to become influential into the mainstream. Ooh. If next year's conjunction follows that pattern, fringe religious and philosophical movements originating this century will profoundly influence future history in the long run. Ooh, so that feels very much like hello, ew. What? That definitely feels like the weird religious the weird religions of the AI, and also just the surge of AI itself. Like personally, I have a lot of feelings about AI. I use generative AI often. I used to use it a lot, and I have tried to wind it down, and I did for a little bit. And it is something where it's just like, I think about it in the same way that I think about it similarly to the evolution of cars, the evolution of computers and the internet. These things were very environmentally unfriendly. And I think like it's good that the social consciousness is aware of the environmental impacts of things. Like I don't know if it's just me and my bias of my feed, but like people are very compared to like the 90s and the 2010s, people are a lot more active with being thoughtful about like environmental crises and stuff. So I do have hope for how things are going to move forward. I did see that Trump made something be like, hey, like these data centers need to find their own source for water and stuff. Who knows how much of an impact that's going to make, but like I think it was Trump that said that. And I think like for him out of all people to say that, even if it's just to like pander to the population, like that still means something other than because that guy like says so much crazy shit. So at least there's something happening, and there's a lot of conversations. Like we think about like PETA, like people did not give a fuck. Like they were just like these crazy people who were just like annoying. And now we have like regular activists who are out there like every day like trying to stand up for animal rights versus being obnoxious and just like having events and stuff. I hate PETA. Stupid. I feel like we're getting out of topic though. Okay, let me go back. Soar. The thing for the Saturn and Neptune conjunction. So we think about structure, and what did that guy say? It's like I had a good point. I like what he said. No, I think that was another guy. I think that was AI. Frank. Structure and illusions. That's what people dreams. And the thing with Neptune is that dreams can also be illusions. They are not grounded in reality. So the fear of wars going on at this time, that is something that like a lot of astrologers predict. Just like volatile environments, and then I think that also like with the Hellstein files, there is a lot of conspiracies that are being brought to light. So Saturn and Neptune coming together, that could also mean like conspiracies being made. We think about Aries. Aries is the first sign of the chart, so like new beginnings and things being born. So conspiracies is happening now. The AI religion, I still think that's so cute. Like, even though we are having these conspiracies come to light, I think we are still barely touching the surface of what's really going on, you know? The files themselves, like, they're very intricate and horrifying, and I don't really want to get into them. And it is nice that there are people whose names we are finally, like, feeling vindicated about. I think about gurus and people who have like a really big like hold on people's minds. So Deepak Chopra, he is very Neptunian in that way, where he was like, you know, he was like Oprah's right hand man, and he was supposed to be this fucking guru who was like, I am the fucking Om Shanti bullshit, like. And he's like, he's out here having these pizza party codes with inside the Helstein files and being like, ew, I'm not gonna say what he said, but like, so like now we have religious leaders. That's what he is. Because he's very much into like mindfulness and meditation. And I don't know if he actually specifically like sides with a specific religion. I just know he's like a brown man. And so now it's just like the veil is getting lifted. The glass is being shattered, and these ideals that we had of these people are falling apart. A few other people that come to mind is like not on the same timeline that they're like being outed, but Jay Shetty is one of them. A lot of people love him because he has a lot of connections with celebrities, and he has like, I really loved his podcast because like he had good conversations, and I liked his perspective on things, but like I don't know this man, and I don't remember like what the controversy was, but something came to light about him. And then there's also with Andrew Huberman, like that guy sucks. That guy was like a cheating philanderer. He had like a bajillion girlfriends, and he had like one fiance at the same time. So it was just like, we have all of these quote unquote perfect leaders that are finally being put in their place. In a way, like, I don't know if that's how I really want to call it, but it's also like, I think in the last when Pisces was in Neptune, when Neptune was in Pisces, because like Saturn is in a sign for 3 years, and Pisces is in a Neptune is in a sign for 36 years. Is that what it said? How long is Saturn in a sign? 28 to 30 years. Okay. So Neptune was in Pisces for 30-ish years. I'm 34 now. And so with Pisces, like Neptune and Pisces, that's big Delulu land. And I think like with Saturn and Pisces also, like immediately after the lockdown, like it was like on its way to influencer realms, you know? And I think with like Saturn in Aquarius with Neptune and Pisces, like that was the era of the influencer, and everyone like kind of jumping on board on that because like everyone was at home and bored as hell. And now that like Neptune is in Aries, people are wanting more authenticity again. Back in, let's say like 30 years ago was like the rock star movement, right? So in the 90s, people loved the idea of the unattainable. And then we think about celebrities and like I'm thinking of like Paris Hilton and what the frick is her name? And The Simple Life, and just like seeing them in everyday environment, and it was just like on it was just really silly because it was just like to us like this is normal people shit, and to them it's just like there was such a huge contrast in like what's the word I'm looking for, but the way people lived and like economical differences. And then now we look at celebrities and the access that they have. Yes, they still have a lot more money than we do, but I feel like the normal everyday person can live a life, can access the aesthetic and the feeling of a celebrity a little bit more than we used to back in the day. Like, and that's mostly because of fast fashion with consumerism and just like capitalism. I think like, and people are getting tired of celebrities that are unattainable, and I don't know, cause like people. I know people love to look at celebrities and be like to look at them as a getaway. You know, celebrities are a fantasy. They are things that are unattainable. They are the physical manifestation of something that the layman, that the normal person can't have. And now that influencers are the in between step between the everyday person and then the non attainable person, now that we're seeing influencers who are like faking it to make it, who are like faking celebrity status, now the everyday people are like, I don't want to buy that expensive fucking couch, the expensive appliance, just to have a nice, functional, fun life. And I feel like that's the new trend that we're falling into, that like there's a lot of talk about authenticity and people being more like down to earth versus someone being a fantasy. I don't know. That's something that I've been noticing a lot recently. And I think like personally, like that's something that I also want to strive for. Like I think I was also very much caught up in wanting to live the fantasy and like wanting to show up as the fantasy. But to be honest, like I'm just in my room in my parents' house, and I have chronic illness. I am like disabled like half of the time. And so like living a normal life and trying to reach for the fucking stars, that pathway is not simple for me. That pathway is not clear, and I don't know. Like I don't believe that it's not doable, but I also don't think like it is something that I also do find that there is something interesting about neurodivergence being a lot more like popular, and popular in the way that like it is getting a lot more limelight. Like back in the day, and I'm saying this in a very neutral standpoint, that like I have ADHD. I was diagnosed with ADHD in like 2019, and I've had ADHD my entire life. Like I've always been like inattentive ADHD. I have like those descriptors were very much things that I had on my report card growing up. And then like with autism and the spectrums of it, like a lot of people still don't know. I lived with people who knew that I had ADHD, but because there's so little information about it, it's just like they think it's just a fun, quirky problem, but it's like, no, like this is a thing that becomes a disability sometimes. Especially like with autistic symptoms, it's like things get really overwhelming really fucking fast. But I wonder what it is in the stars and the planets that correlate to, I guess, like the access of the population to like diagnoses like that. Because I know definitely like TikTok was a huge facet into like impacting me and me learning about my like possible autistic symptoms. And then with ADHD, I think it definitely was the internet that taught me like, hey, like these are symptoms, like seeking stimulants, getting addicted to stuff, especially in femme bodies, people who have uteruses, people who are assumed female at birth. That is like the way that they present ADHD is very different from what ADHD in males are expected. So that's another thing that I had to learn, and it was just like, okay, and I had to find the right practitioner to listen to me and to be like, for me to be honest to, because I had to be like, hey, like I'm addicted to substances that are stimulants. I'm addicted to like I think this was me self-medicating. I think I have ADHD. And that took some time. Still here, by the way. I'm just working at the same time. It's hard to focus in meetings, and I miss so much sometimes. Are you working, Mr. Joe? ADHD is rough, and I don't know how to ride, so I can't even say I'm a rough rider. I don't know what that means. But yeah, ADHD is rough. Like, especially in femme bodies and the people who have uteruses. So there's like PMDD also, who, and all of these things, people with ADHD get misdiagnosed with BPD. A lot of ADHD and like ASD symptoms are similar to BPD, but it's also like how to treat them is very, very different. So, like, I'm thinking about when this happened for me. This was in 2019 before my Saturn return. My Saturn is in Aquarium in Aquarius, and this was like in March, I think. So maybe it has to do with Pisces. Many ADHD are misdiagnosed as BPD. Yeah. Also bipolar too, because of the if they have PMDD, they have like PMDD is like the menstrual cycle. So like post menstrual dysphoric disorder, I think. And basically like it looks like bipolar too, because the 2 weeks leading up to the period, it's like so depressed. Like this is like undiagnosed, like unmedicated. Excuse me. So depressed. And then period comes, back to being manic, aka just energized and normal. But trying to explain that, it looks like on paper mania versus depression, which is manic depressive, aka bipolar 2 or BPD. I feel like the DSM-5 needs a fucking like it needs a new version ASAP. Where's the DSM-6? And something that I have been noticing too, like there's been a lot more conversation about PMDD, and I think that's great because a lot of people with uterus do not get the right type of help. A lot of gynecologists suck. There's a gyno who I was like, my old family doctor recommended me to just because like she was nearby. And the gyno was like, do you don't want birth control? I can't help you. Well, like, you know that it's hormones, so like you need birth control. And I'm like, girl, what? Otherwise, I can't help you there. Oh my god, I hated that. Thank God I got to see one of my favorite doctors. I'm back in his practice instead, one of my family doctors. And I told him, I was like, hey, like, I'm dealing with this. And he was like, hey, like, so, like, I don't think he knows anything about PMDD, but he knows about PCOS. Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. And he was like, hey, like, this is something you take, like, progesterone. And, like, people, you can take a lot of progesterone and you'll be fine. And this is, like, body identical progesterone. So I've been doing that. And that actually has been helping. a freaking crap ton. Oh my god, I've been like shrimping this whole time. I was shrimping, no one told me. Oh. I've been yapping a good minute. I think I gotta go pee. Let me turn this off. Actually, no, let me get it up. Let's look at some notes. Let's look at the astrology podcast. What is their March forecast? Okay. Oh yeah. Also, AI causing computer scarcity. They're buying out all the hard drives, and now it costs a bajillion dollars to buy a freaking hard drive. That sucks. I wonder if that's like Saturn and Neptune. I wonder what that is. Prince Andrew being arrested. Ooh, the lunar eclipse is opposite Mars. Mars is it currently in Pisces? Yeah. So it's not opposite. Talking shit, bro. Okay, I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna go pee. I'm gonna be right back. We are gonna BRB. And we're back. Sometimes I forget how like bright this light is. My makeup in real life is so intense. Very intense. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, Jupiter is gonna station direct in Cancer in a few days, I believe. I think that's mid-March, and I think that's gonna be really nice. I don't like the Jupiter retrograde. I actually didn't even notice that it happened. When did that happen? Jupiter retrograde. From November to March. You know what? That actually feels pretty apt. So for me, Cancer is in my 10th house, and your 10th house is your house of careers. I don't know if vocation is correct, because I think like the 6th house is also similar to that, but the 10th house is like the thing that you're most known for. And my 10th house, so, is in Cancer, and basically from November to like February, I've kind of just been like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it feels pretty timely to like be ramping up back into like when November started. I developed a crush and I got really distracted, but I also had to spend a lot of time like trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to do with Twitch and like my online career. So I feel like that feels correct. And I'm very excited because in March I have a course that I'm going to be taking. It's called Witch and Famous, and basically there are a lot of witches that are in there, and by that it's like people who do rituals and who like people who are like very into esoteric things, so like people who do spells but also do astrology and that kind of work. So it's going to be fun to be in an environment like it's going to be a marketing environment, but also in a very esoteric language, because I cannot fucking do PR ass, HR head ass, corporate marketing. I don't know anything about overheads. That sounds like math. I don't know if that's even marketing, but I'm really excited for Witch and Famous. A few people that I know who have like really cool work are also in that program, so I'm so excited, and that's happening like March. Okay, so when does Jupiter go direct? 2026. 10/11, perfect. So next week, and then next week we have some friends coming on to stream, which is going to be so fun. I have 2 of my Libra rising friends that I asked to come here and hang out. We're going to talk about what it means to be Venusians and what it is to be like a Libra rising in our very different ways of living. One of my friends is Gray. Both of these friends I met on Threads, and Gray is a guide, a kind of a coach, but more so like they were doing like art therapy. It's a form of art therapy, but they're not a therapist. And they were guiding people's like artistic evolutions, and also I think like they do like a very like somatic healing type of practice, but that's not what they call it. And then I have Kelly. Kelly is also a very esoteric person, but I think their like normal everyday job is they do pet sitting, and that's so cool. And Kelly is doing a challenge this year where they're trying to get as many rejections as possible. So that's very fun. And I don't really know how old Kelly is actually, but I know that Gray just they just finished their Saturn return and they just turned 30. And Kelly, I don't know. I think Kelly might be getting I think that's their Saturn return this year. So Kelly is just like 28, I think. So it'd be very interesting like seeing the 3 of us Libra risings in like our different points of life. Kelly just entering her Saturn return, Gray just ending their Saturn return, and me 3 years after my Saturn return. And other than our Libra rising, we have very different Venus placements, I believe. Gray, I think, is a Jupiter in Sagittarius, and maybe Kelly is. I don't know. I don't know what Jupiter's Kelly is, or sorry, Venus. I don't know what Gray's Venus is. Cancer? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. These are my friends. So we're gonna find out about them more tomorrow. That's gonna be so fun. I loved. Sorry, not tomorrow. Next week. I love talking about astrology. It is just a bunch of planets who we speak to for divination and guidance, and just to like make sense of things, even if like it's a little silly. Like I do think of like astrology as like a weather report, and sometimes it says it's gonna rain, and you walk outside and you're like, not a fucking single cloud in sight, motherfucker. So people are wrong, and that's okay. Okay. Oh, I need to I need to start taking my reacting again because my allergies are acting up. Okay, I actually want to let's look at the birth chart of this freaking podcast. What time did I hop on here? 1 hour 24. 1 hour 24. Okay, March 4th. So an hour ago, 6 p.m. 24. So 11. Calculate chart. Is that right? Yeah, 1 hour 24. Below. Okay. This that makes sense. This podcast is a Virgo rising. I should have taken bets. That kind of makes sense to me. My Virgo ass analyzing and mostly analyzing and organizing things. Very much this. I love that it is in this beautiful arrow. Ooh, that's so sexy. And that the force is going straight to the Aries Neptune. So the moon opposite the Neptune and the Saturn. Oh, that's so sexy. Wait, I love it. It's giving our hopes and dreams are opposing the things that give us structure. Okay, no. Sorry, internal thoughts opposing things that structure and dreams. And so for oppositions, it's kind of like you either love it or you hate it, because you are in like an opposition is like it's a fucking showdown. You are directly in front of each other. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing, because it's like first house and seventh house. Like your seventh house is your marriage. Seventh house is love of your life, partnerships. That could also be business partnerships. So it is a very intimate type of not transit, but placement. I love it. And then we have Lilith in Sagittarius. That is interesting. Okay, let's look into that. Bitch. Okay, and then is Jupiter still in retrograde? Yes, it is. Cancer, 10th house, same bitch. The fuck? Ooh, moon is in the 2nd house, actually. Okay, and then we have Gemini as our MC, which is Yap City, brother. I love it. Also, what's her name? Alyssa? Is her name Alyssa? The girl who did who won the gold in the ice skating Olympics? I want to get a smiley because of her. Or I should just get I just want bling on my teeth. But I love this shape. This feels very powerful. And then all of these triage, that's not the word I'm looking for, but sextiles? I don't know. These blue blue lines feel good. I was gonna look something up and I forgot. Oh, Lilith in Sagittarius. Let's look that up. I'm gonna leave that up. What the heck? Lilith in Sagittarius represents a fierce, independent, and rebellious quest for personal truth, often challenging traditional belief systems, dogmas, and societal rules regarding freedom. This placement indicates a need to break free. Let's move this. Why am I not letting you use this? Lilith. This placement indicates a need to break free from restrictive ideologies and define one's own moral code. Oh, you can't see it again. Hello, Kitty. Should I just do this? There we go. And then let's move me. Why is it so small? There we go. Camera? There. Oh, no. Perfect. Okay. Locked. Soar. Okay. Often expressing a wild or uncontrolled nature when restricted. Can't tell me what to do. Can't tell me what to do. Rebellion. Okay, and then also, so we have that, and then it's also in our, that's the wrong one. In our third house of communication, baby. So that. So I'm actually Libra rising, so this chart feels very similar to mine, actually. What is this guy? Who is that? Pluto. Okay, that's fine. And then Taurus. Uranus and Taurus. What does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? And then we also have, meow! Do you have something to say? She's very shy. She's over here. She's over here complaining because I'm bugging her. And oh, we have Chiron here also. Chiron in Aries. After all the bullshit, is over here. Dang, bruh. So other people's money. No, please. Give me other people's money. Other people's things. Chiron, 8th house. Aries. That's... Okay, Chiron and Aries in the 8th house. Signifies a deep wound related to trust, intimate betrayal, and loss of control. Oh, often triggering issues with self-assertion and identity within shared relationships. It involves healing trauma from emotional or financial manipulation by learning to assert personal power, reclaim independence, and transform fear of abandonment into profound self-reliance. Okay. That feels like tea. That feels like tea. Okay. I'm getting tired. I need to eat. I'm hungry. It's time for me to eat dinner. So, thank you for hanging out for the first episode of Cosmos and Tea. I hope to see you again next week when we hang out with my friends Gray and Kelly. Oh, it's a Grace and Kelly. That's so fun. Yeah. There are a lot of things happening on the back end that I have yet to talk about, but we still also want to do Shakespeare readings. Those are going to be really fun. Dramatic readings in the Discord. That's going to be so fun. Eventually my plan is to have a school because I just want to learn stuff with my friends and have fun doing it. So keep an eye out on the Discord. I'm going to be announcing there. I don't really talk much on there. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I'm on Threads if you want to follow me on there and hang out. And see what the heck I keep yapping about, because I'm always there. That's my group chat. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. I will see you on Friday for another episode of Tarot and Tea. This month is Women's International Month, I think. So we're going to be celebrating that on Friday, or whatever it is happening this month. I think also Mental Health Awareness Month. March is a lot. Like, there's a lot of things going on in March. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to have fun. I'll see you Friday. Also, I think I'm going to do karaoke again this weekend. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe later. Maybe I'll come back. Okay. Oh, wait. Ew, why is the chat over there? I'll have to fix this. There we go. Perfect. Thank you for coming to hang out, and I will see you again. I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Love you.